Hey there, in this video, we're going to be speaking about facing Corona reality as an online entrepreneur. And our goal with today's video is to share the journey with you, pretty much what we do during this time, how we handle things, also why we do it. And online entrepreneurs, some people that hustle online and have different businesses online. And we just want you to relate because we're, as I mentioned, in a bit of a lockdown. So let's just share how we do it. And today, I'm not alone. I'm accompanied by Adriana Rangel. She's from Monterrey, which is in Mexico, and she's an Amazon FBA seller. She's an art creator, and she's just a person that I know for a while. And I'm glad to have you here, Adriana, with us today, speaking about this topic. Please introduce yourself to us. I'm really glad to have you here today.
Hi, Vova. Well, thank you for having me, first of all. And yes, I am an FBA seller at the moment. I started about 2 years ago. I met Vova about 1.5 years ago or so, and I'm very happy that I did. Yes, I started this journey. I did my experiences in marketing, and I later started in the art business, which I love, of course. But I'm grateful that I found this online opportunity because I think that that's where the world is headed. And well, you have to stay on top of your game, right? And so yeah, I'm happy to be here with you, Vova.
Yeah, thanks for coming, for sure. It's pretty exciting. As you mentioned, we know each other for a while, and you followed my journey, I followed yours. We spoke a lot, all this Amazon FBA, a lot of topics. And yeah, it's really awesome to have you here, be connected generally. And yeah, it's going to be cool to share like our things about how we go, as I mentioned, with our businesses, what is it all about, how, why, and yeah, let's talk about it. Thank you again for coming. And I wanted to ask you some questions. Is it cool? Can I ask you some stuff about all this? So Adriana, I wanted to know, like, how are you facing this reality? Like, how are you, how's your Amazon FBA going? What do you do during this time at home? How does it go for you?
Yes, well, I guess we're just trying to, everyone, right? Like not only me, we're just trying to take it as it comes and try to plan with the information that we have and just trying to navigate and overcome our feelings too, right? Because we get so overwhelmed. I mean, fear, I guess, since March has always been there, right? Like it's an emotion that's there. And then you hear there's a ton of information out there, and then there's the comments from your family, your friends, and you somehow have to summarize that information, filter out information, and be able to take actions because sometimes information can paralyze you and your decision making. But then you have to think about, like, I cannot stop. Like sometimes it's not doing anything is riskier, right? Than actually doing things. But then of course fear starts taking over again. But then you have to like quiet that voice in your mind and continue to move ahead with what you have, right? And I think that reading some books, talking to people that you trust, and talking to people that are also in the same shape as you are, help you to kind of get your mind right, which I guess it's the most important factor, really. Get your mind right and start to take action.
Yeah, so you gotta be, because you mentioned, connected to other people, obviously online, because I guess our journey as an online, like I'm an Amazon FBA seller, and I also do this YouTube, I do some affiliate marketing, do some consulting on the side, and we kind of run different things, and the Corona has impacted this. For example, the sales on Amazon, for me at least in my niches, it was pretty good to go up with the barbecue niche. And also the traffic on YouTube rose somewhat. So, I mean, for me, it just was time of opportunity, I guess, as well, to do something with the business. I can't say I panicked, really not. It was just like taking it easy. I saw the big changes coming and, but we, I guess, dealt with them. For example, on Amazon, when they delayed the shippings, I went and checked FBM. How does it work more? I sent to some different warehouses, and so I guess we adjust, and that's pretty much for everything you do. And Adriana, I also mentioned that you used to do like freelance or something like this also. And but currently you are mainly doing the Amazon, right? It's your...
Yes, mainly. I mean, I have some experience in, as I said, my background is in marketing and in art as well. But then when I saw the opportunity, because of course the first year or so it was tough in Amazon, right? Because as in any new business, right? But then once I started to realize the potential and the scalability of this project, I started to dedicate more of my time in this. I still love art. I still love doing that, and I want to keep doing that But then I feel like sometimes you just have to choose and put your focus on a thing, right? And so that, and I also had a job at the time, and then I started taking some freelance work only because of the cash flow situation. I feel that with businesses such as Amazon FBA, it's very cash intensive, and so you have to be buying inventory and then ship it and then sell it and then get paid, right? So it's there's a few months sometimes that you don't see that you know your money is somewhere, right? But it's not in your pocket. So so getting some freelance cash, why not? But then you have to find like the balance between not dedicating most of your time to the business, but then keeping it alive with cash flow. So it's like a tricky.
You can get like new places. As you mentioned, if you need some cash for Amazon's sake, because it's your main business, so to say, you can do some other things and just get them back into the products, or you can use Amazon to get things in your other businesses. It's pretty cool to be in this cash flow machine, but you gotta really be aware on Amazon FBA. For those who are starting or those who are already in this, you gotta manage it well, because for the long run, you better come prepared for this. Because there will be challenges, and is the Corona, I guess. Did you have any things in your business that were affected by the Corona? What did you feel, Adriana?
Yes, of course. Actually, one of my product, it actually depends on people gatherings, right? And of course, needless to say that I saw the decline on the product sales for that specific product in like mid-March. And the thing is that just as everyone else, you don't know, late March, you hear that maybe like in a few weeks it's going to come back, and then you keep waiting, and then you have that trouble with cash flow again, right? And then you have to see whether you're going to buy more inventory and all that. And I at that time, I remember I was listening to a podcast, and they were saying something like, you cannot, you either choose to like pause, or you can choose to like sometimes just like hit the gas pedal, right? And it's not about mindlessly hitting the gas pedal, but it's also about, okay, let's see. And then at the time, and in April, you started to hear about, Amazon, like the Amazon market stock went through the roof, and how Amazon was growing. And then you saw it as a seller yourself, how they were not able to ship orders or fulfill orders fast enough. So it was like, okay, so perhaps, it's growing. My niche right now for that product was paused. But I was like, okay, no, but it's not personal, right? It's just like I happen to have one product in that niche. So I was like, okay, let's see, let's just keep moving. And I think that reading books, not on business, of course on business too, but on just like managing expectations or managing emotions and all this, like that really helped to be like, okay, because it's all about, I feel like everything's in your head. So you have to find the motivation in there and filter out things that you don't need.
So during the Corona, I guess because we're locked down as well, I guess you've been reading, as you mentioned, obviously, and running your business and adjusting to everything that's happening. As you mentioned, there are still some delays with the shipping from Amazon itself to the customers in getting the products. Like I have products that are getting in, it's killing me. Like they take a lot of time to unpack them. They unpack like 20 units and you sell out that, it hurts your rankings in a bit. So but we adjust, we're like, I couldn't say that it did change a lot, but like, as you mentioned, because you read, because you're aware, you're doing things mindfully, if I can say that, right? Then your results now, you're dealing with this. That's what interests me. Like we're different people, online entrepreneurs, like in different cities all around the world. And we sit pretty much in front of the computer, right?
Yes.
And we got to manage this in terms of like also mental health. What do you think of mental health? It's not exactly on the maybe it is on entrepreneurial side because it's very connected. Mental state is connected to everything in life. How do you think the Corona affected your mental state? Like how did you feel any changes, or how did you?
Yes. Well, I think that I actually started reading about that the other day, or listening to podcasts about that. And the fear, it's not about not feeling fear. And sometimes, because it's like, how do you push away fear, or how do you push away those thoughts or those doubts? And I don't think they're always there. Like that's the thing. Like you're not always feeling, and you just have to think of them as thoughts. And you know what? Like I didn't meditate before that. I was like, you hear it all the time that it's so good for you and all that, but I just didn't do it. During this time, I was, let me try it. It might help. And it's basically about feeling the emotion or having the thoughts, but not engaging. And so you have to take decisions even when you feel fearful, because it's not that I wasn't fearful. I was very fearful, especially because and no one really knew at the time. And even now that it's May, we still are not sure what's going to happen for the rest of the year. And you hear all these things and all that, but it's like, okay, you just take a breath and basically just do what you can with what you have, with the information that you have. And you still have days when it's just like, oh my God, like, but then you just take a break and come back at it a little bit later.
That's fascinating. You're Adriana, individual, you're young and you're going through all this. Many people don't do that. Many people during the Corona, they didn't really, it's fine, everybody and his decisions, but not many people hustled a lot, like you did. I know you were doing things, you were learning things, you were improving things. But what made you going? Like, why are you doing that at all? You know what I mean? It's like, what keeps you going with this? Why would you put your body and your brain under books and all these business, all this hustle? Like, probably people don't understand you fully when you are, you tell them I sell on Amazon, right? But they're like, oh, pretty cool, right? You have a product, but there's like a huge machine behind that. Like, go tell them, right? So what keeps you moving the machine? Like, why do you
I think that any human being can do it. It's going to be painful. At least in my experience, especially because there are a lot of like gurus and all that in the internet that tell you it's not about the courses, but it's more about the expectations that they sell. And so they sometimes tell you like, oh, I made 200K within 3 months. And so when you come to it, when I came to it 2 years ago, I was like, what the hell? Like, of course, 3 months, 6 months, even 9 months had passed and I wasn't making like nearly, I was actually losing money. And I was like, so there's something wrong with me. And so I think that's where people have to be very careful, people that are on the internet that sell these expectations. And so at first it was painful because I was like, what, like, I'm confused. And I messaged you a lot. I was like, but what's going on? Like, I should be doing, I should be in a different situation by now. But then I realized that no, it's a business such as any other business. And the first few years is like a very steep learning curve. But if you're willing to push through and just like keep going, even if it hurts, because it's going to hurt. At least in my experience, my first year was like very confusing. And then thankfully I later launched a different product, and the different product, I guess that to your question, that second product was the one that motivated me, because the first one was painful because I didn't choose it correctly, like, etc., because I didn't know at the time. But the second one, I had more information. You actually coached me on that too. And the second one did much better. And I was like, okay, so yes, so there's hope. So that I applied for the third one. And that's how you go about it, basically. And
it's a process.
Yes. It's not something that's going to happen in 3 months. Well, not for me, at least.
It's interesting that also you, as an Amazon FBA seller, pretty much as everything in life, you learn a lot. And to run a business such as Amazon FBA, or pretty much any business, but let's specifically speak about Amazon FBA, or for maybe different online hustlers that are watching, that could be affiliate marketing, I don't know, flipping things on eBay. There's so much to do. But as an Amazon FBA seller, it teaches you a lot about everything, because you got to know how to talk to suppliers, how to ship it, the PPC part. You got to know how to optimize. You learn always new skills. That's an interesting process. I mean, for me, it fascinates, like everything fascinates me really, like fully. I try to understand, but what keeps you going? Like, I understand that you are enjoying, you are better in the process with time. Yes, you were able to launch new products and you understood your mistakes, but why do you keep going in this? This is what I want to understand. Why would you not just say like, okay, 8 months, I didn't earn money. Like, I mean, yes, it is a business, you mentioned. For those who are watching, just if you're thinking about it, just be prepared for a real business, for like an online hustle. You can even get to those numbers that people are talking about. That happens.
That's great. Yes,
but just be prepared to do like work kind of thing, fun, a lot of things. But again, maybe there's something deeper that makes you do that. I don't know if you want to share or something like this.
Yes, of course. I think that online. Well, the most attractive thing that for me, at least for that online businesses bring, is the freedom when you start growing, and to actually, I know it sounds cliche, but to do not whatever you like, but to have your own schedules, to have your own routines.
Say it, whatever you like. Yes, we do whatever you like. Yes, we want to live like that. Yes,
to live from different places. To perhaps spend a month in a different city. I love traveling. I know that many people do too, and I love meeting new people, new cultures, and I think that that's something that only online businesses can provide. When you work at an office, or there's nothing wrong with that, but you still have to show up. And here you just bring your laptop with it. And so whenever I feel like stressed and want to give up or something, I think like, no, because I can see these other places and meet these other people. And
it's pretty awesome. Yes. I guess the freedom and it can call it the laptop lifestyle, but that's just the name for it. But it's true. It's more freedom. That's where you want to live. You want to do whatever you like, whenever you like, at your own terms. And that's possible for those who are watching. If you are like still doubting, it is possible. You can live on your own terms, not just Amazon FBA, not just whatever hustle. I mean, yeah, you gotta hustle. If you're gonna be like, so to say, if you're gonna be a 9-to-5 worker, you can still live on your own terms. That might be your terms, right? But if you want more freedom and business allows you to just get paid more with money, you can just allow yourself a different lifestyle, and that's not easy achievable, unfortunately. But it's so awesome, like to get. But
it's worth it.
Yes, it is worth it, and I see what that motivates me as well. It's one of the things that motivated me as well to just live a different life. It goes deeper. I have like family. It's very important for me as well. Like we can talk about values. You know what I mean? Like if you understand your core values as a person, and you can tell yourself your own values, you can be more efficient in things because you know what's moving you. You know why you're doing the Amazon. You know how to do that with time. But this, you need to understand who you are in your core as a person. It's much easier because sometimes you might be very good hustler, but maybe it's not what you truly want. You're not fully. So it would be really nice also for people to kind of dive deep into their own personalities, and this will give them the easier answer to this, because not all people like you can do that, Adriana. Maybe some can, but for some they won't be really able to dig that deep and answer, which is pretty cool. You did answer that, and it's interesting what motivates you. Do you see yourself doing this in the future, to doing online business?
I think so, yes. I think that that's where the world is going in general. I think that that's the tendency, the trend. Many things that I like about online businesses is that scalability, right? So you can grow faster, and I mean, the faster, the better, right? In any business. And I want to here mention, because it's important to say that there's great joy in other businesses as well. As I said, the art business is something that I'm very passionate about. It's a different kind of thing, as you can imagine, very different. It's more of an in-person thing, and that's what I love. It's just different, but it's nice if you can combine both, whichever you choose, right? As long as you find your joy in it.
So, for example, if you find a lot of joy in freedom and traveling, for example, so you can also be an art curator or running any, whatever just suits you. If you know what you want, if you're you don't need to be also shy of what you want. You might be different from other people, and that's normal. Just do whatever the heck you want. And you are aware of this. And I think that's why you are, you're doing this. You were able to generate another income stream for, I think, 99% of people in the world. They never get to this point where they built something like you did, which you did. You built it, it produced there, sent there. Think about it. It's really awesome. Like, it's good that you were able to get to that. That's pretty awesome. So, and what are your next moves now? Like, what are you gonna do now, as we're in May 20? What are you gonna do as an online entrepreneur to continue with the hustles? I guess because you mentioned that you would like to. What would be your step?
I think that Amazon still has a lot of potential, even though a lot of products are there. And of course, there's competition as in everything. But I think that we would just need to keep researching products that will be relevant to the new times, because who knows, right? Like people are saying that we will go back to normal in 3 or 6 months. But maybe there's no going back to the normal we knew. Maybe there's a new normal. So you have to kind of predict and make your decision, and just hope for the best, right? And so with the information you have. So I want to keep growing the brand, of course, and hopefully also recruit people to help me out. But yes, it's just basically keep watching the trends and keep also, how important it also is rest, right? Like your downtime, even though, because I feel like millennials and many people right now are like, oh, hustle, hustle, hustle. And if you have like that extra 2 hours, you take another freelance job or gig or whatever. But it's during rest that you actually like, yes, exactly. And you have that. And if you're taking a shower and it's like, okay, that you suddenly get the answer to anything or an idea in general, right? And also spending time with friends. We hear a lot about how, no, you need to hustle, hustle, hustle. But I think that the greatest work is in your downtime, right? Because you're letting your brain and so I read a book that I think that I mentioned at some point. It's called Deep Work, and it's about like, don't check your email past 8 p.m. or whatever. And for us, it's tricky because people in China, I mean, I'm in Mexico, so that time difference is large. And so they start messaging me at night, and it's like, should I? But then you have to rest, and that's very important.
Yes, because I think it's a great point that you've mentioned. Rest is like such a great point, because as an online entrepreneur, somebody who handles, you can burn out for sure. And it can be painful to burn out as a content creator, as a seller, as any sort of entrepreneur generally. Burnout is something that can happen. I mean, and then again, if you had this for one time, two times, you can be aware that you had a burnout and not get there anymore. That's when rest comes in, when you're aware of how much you need to rest. And because me and Adriana rest differently, there's different ways to rest, but generally the word rest, and somebody might rest as going to play football, or somebody might rest as gaming. But aside from the business, because running a business on Amazon, for those who are watching and they're Amazon FBA sellers or any online entrepreneur, it's like time consuming. It's a process, it's like you're there on the computer a lot. But all right, so just understand your norm of the time you need to stay on the computer, and when you answer your emails, as you've mentioned, right? Like I'm not that recently, actually, I've been trying to do that a lot, and it's actually like a battle inside me. I wake up in the morning. I will tell you how it happens. I want to see the Seller Central. I want to see the YouTube views. Really. But, and then when I turn on the phone, I get tick, 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 WhatsApp, Facebook, I get, message here, this, and it takes automatically the brain to process these things. Like, for example, if I got an email like, hey, Vova, so what do we do with our interview, for example? I'm like, oh yeah, I have the interview. My brain is exploding. Yes. So I would say when you're starting your morning or when you go to sleep, turn the thing off. And any other things, and as you mentioned, meditation, reading books, go talk with friends, go for a hike, for a walk, watch a movie, whatever makes you feel good. Also try new things, always, generally, to kind of make it more fun. Go to a new place. I know it sounds weird now, but even in your town, as you mentioned, Adriana, you have some places to hike. You can go and hike there. Why not? Just one time, take a bottle, you know what I mean? Like, or anywhere. It's I guess it's gonna help you deal with this Corona reality in a way. And now that some places are getting more opened, and what are you gonna do when borders open? Do you think you're gonna fly somewhere? Do you have any plans generally? What about your plans? Like, what do you think? What can you tell us about that?
Yes. No, I think I don't think I'm gonna fly anywhere anytime soon. The good thing about online businesses, again, is that you can talk to suppliers, you can talk to anywhere from your laptop or phone. No, I don't think I'm gonna risk it even though I would love to, to travel for I guess this year. No, I think that I'm just gonna I'd rather do this now than regret it later, right? And so
you'd rather stay around for now in Monterrey and just do your things there and stuff like that. What's Monterrey? How is it like? Like what's there? Like I think I actually Googled it, as you mentioned. I remember some pictures and stuff.
Yes, it's nice. It's one of the most important cities or largest cities in Mexico, and it's very nice. And there are a ton of things to do in here. The capital, of course, is Mexico City, but that's a lot of fun too. It's full of restaurants, partying, museums, and all that. But I think that I just like for at least 5 months or so. I mean, I want to take care of my family and not like, I don't want to get the virus and all that. So just push through for the rest of the year.
You know what? I'm going to, on the thumbnail of this video, I'm going to add to us like Mexican hats and stuff like that with the graphics, maybe the flag.
Yes.
I think, I had the chance to when I'm talking with you, you're Mexican. I met Mexican people during my travels, and it's very good people, always warm. I think generally the South American people, generally people all around the world, but in South America, there's this, very warm. I don't know how to explain.
Yes.
And yeah, it's nice. I would like to go also to South America and generally to America, to North as well. It's in my
Yes.
list. And hopefully, I really hope that things will open up and we could go travel. I'm really dying to go to travel, but also have to take care of some stuff. But yeah, I would love to go somewhere. And Adriana, I wanted to ask you this question about maybe a tip you can give us, those who are facing Corona reality, online entrepreneurs. One tip for us. You've given a lot of tips here generally. You've shared a lot of wisdom, which is pretty cool. I thank you for that. But like something else you would like to add, something like a tip or something to make us go through this, because you also go through this, like maybe something.
Yes. I guess everything comes from just trying to stay healthy, and not only in your body, but also about in your mind. But that's what actually stops us from taking that chance or that risk or whatever, whichever it may be. Either it can be business wise or like in your personal life or whatever. I think that sometimes we're very scared because we see things and we think they are unattainable or whatever. And I think that this Amazon thing or this or any online business or a brick and mortar business or a coffee shop or whatever, I think that everything is done by humans anyways. Like, we're humans, and that's why I mentioned that it seems glamorous, or especially because in Instagram you see all these pictures about like, oh, being an entrepreneur, and it's not fancy. It's not, well, in my experience and the people that I know that are business owners, it's not fancy, which means that anyone can do it if you put your mind to it. And it's just basically about fighting for what you want. And in my case, it's like, I love freedom and I love flexibility and I love travel. And just find yours and just put everything that you have on that, and just be willing to endure, right? Because that's the name of the game. Be willing to endure and find great people, surround yourself with great people. I think that I'm grateful that I met Vova a year ago with that, when I was struggling with that first product. And you shared with me you shared with me a lot, just like, oh, read these books and all that. And books are we were just mentioning that, right? Vova are great hacks, right? Because it's people that have lived through what you are living at the moment. And so it's nice. And now you have like Audible, right? And those audiobooks that make you like just lay in bed and listen to that. So but mainly just like try to invest a lot in yourself, in your mind, and your mental state, and of course your body. Why not in your relationships, your family?
Yeah, hopefully we can do that and thrive as people, as entrepreneurs. It's not an easy time, but you're dealing with this and you understand your whys, as you mentioned. You gave us some nice tips today, and we're gonna try. Thank you. And what can I can maybe add to people also? It's just a weird time, but continue going, continue walking, enjoy the process, and do things. Connect with good people and help other people, stay connected. Maybe you can share your wisdom with others. There's a lot to do. Like, just take care of your time. Your life is short. Also remember that. You got to get perspectives on that as well. Better do it today, now. And Adriana, thanks for coming. Can you let us people know how we can contact you, maybe if they want to be in touch with you?
Yes, of course. I'll share with you my Instagram. I guess we can put it in your description, and perhaps my Facebook handle as well. And well, thank you, Vova. I mean, you were the one who helped me survive the first few years, and now, you're teaching me all the habits and motivating me. And I think that everyone can do anything they want, as long as they're willing to put in the work and not neglect themselves in the process.
Perfect. That's a great message. Hopefully it gets to the world, and they just, their lives get better after your message. Thank you, Adriana. And I hope to see you here again on this show, or you can call this channel, have some fun. For me, it was really nice conversation. We should have been spoken like an hour before that as well, just, talking stuff. And this is really great. Hopefully the audience will enjoy you. And really, thank you for coming, and hopefully we can come again.
Yes, I love that, Vova. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.